All right, so today we're going to make a topiary garden. I'm going to take you through the steps first of how to make this squirrel bush. Then we're going to quickly show you how to do the background and then slowly do the background together. And we will put our topiary garden together like this and hold off on any decorations or faces because we will do that next class. So for our topiary, we're going to be drawing a squirrel. And we're going to make our squirrel a bush. So the first thing I need you to do is we're going to draw like the main body of the squirrel and then the head and the tail. So kind of right here in the middle, you're going to draw kind of an egg shape. So about the size of your hand, you're going to start with a kind of a wide half circle U, and then kind of point the top of the egg like that. So it's like a normal circle, and then it's kind of a pointy oval. This is going to be the back. So if you make lots of, like if you make a small one accidentally, you have to make a bigger one, that's okay. We're not gonna see it later. Just don't flip over right now. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a foot. So you're gonna, at the bottom of your egg, put a little foot. After that, we're going to do the tail. Now watch first for the tail. We're going to draw kind of like a line that curves up. So it goes from the bottom and then curves up. Looks like a mouse's tail. So once you curve up your line, this is kind of like the middle of the tail. So what I want you to do around the tail, this middle, without touching it, is make it poofy. Now that will be the squirrel tail. All right, so we kind of have like the backside, middle of the squirrel, the foot, and the tail. For the next part, we're going to do his kind of like torso. So it's going to be kind of like a little rectangle coming off the top. Kind of looks like a sideways hat. And then we're going to give him a little triangle for his paw, for his arm, and his paw will be at the end, so you can do like a little boop. And then his head is kind of triangular shaped. I'll put little ears on it. So from this top part, you're gonna go up, kind of make a pointed triangle, and come back down. So here's the triangle in general. So it has like a little extra like that. Lastly, he needs small ears. I'm gonna do just a small kind of hook there. Now we have a lot of shapes going on, but you're only gonna cut the outside. So watch first. I'm gonna draw it. You don't have to draw this. This is just showing you what you actually cut. So you don't cut up there. You would cut around. And I might not even make mine this bumpy because this might be difficult to cut. So see how I'm going just on the outside line? Like I'm driving around, but not going inside. Squint, do you see it? Just like the outside shadow and not any of those middle parts. Once you're done drawing it, you can do the outline to make it a little clearer what you're gonna cut. So go ahead and cut your squirrel out. Like I said, I'm not gonna do the whole poofs. I think I'm gonna do it afterwards. Keep this extra green paper so that way you can make other topiary bushes around your animal. So here's my squirrel. Check it out on this side. Nice and clean and just the shape. Maybe now I'll go back and do a little wiggling with my scissors to make it a little bit poofy looking. There we go. Now it's kind of poofy looking. So let me show you real quickly how this is going to progress. So you'll start with your ground, and then you will put clouds in it next, because those need to go behind things. You can rip them or cut them. Then with your extra white paper, you can make stems for extra trees or bushes. I use brown crayon just to make texture on them. Then you can use your extra green to add the extra topiaries. You can make fun shapes, or you can just make them look like natural bushes. All right, so for your background, for your topiary, you have 3 pieces of paper. The first is your sky. So that starts as your background. Then this green piece is your ground. So you can glue that onto your paper. Make sure that your ground doesn't go off your paper, but actually lines up with the bottom so that it doesn't make your paper any bigger, because this exact size fits in your folder. After you have your ground and your sky, you can make clouds. Now, with your white paper, you can cut them. I'm gonna rip them because I like the kind of fluffy looking texture it gets when I rip. Remember, clouds can be all sorts of different shapes. And then you'll glue your clouds. So you're going from like your background, your ground and your background, to things that will be in your foreground, which is like your topiary garden. Okay. You probably have some extra paper from when you cut out your animal. If you want to do a sun, you could, I like doing half circles for suns. So you could do like a half circle and then draw rays later if you want to. Maybe put some birds. Okay, so the next thing, after we do our background, some of my other friends in other classes did like mountains and stuff on the edge. It's up to you how creative you want to get with your background and stuff. But then you need to create stems and bushes. So for my trunks or stems, I'm gonna use the white paper and then I'm gonna color them brown. Kind of like your other practice, if you want to do different shapes or forms, you can do that. Your animal is going to go right in the middle, overlapping this, so make sure that you, if you glue something in the middle, know that your animal's going to go on top. All right, and then you can do different kind of forms. You do other animals if you have time to. You just do different kinds of shapes. And make sure everything's on your page. You don't want anything to hang off the edge. So there will be some overlapping. So like this overlaps my cloud. This will overlap my mountain a little bit. Which is okay because in real life, things would overlap. All right, and then you would put your animal on top. Okay, so remember when you're done with your background, you want to put your squirrel on the paper. Make sure it's not going off the paper. Make sure it's sitting on the ground. It might overlap some of the trees and stuff a little bit, and that is okay because in real life, things would overlap. Next time we'll do a little more decoration and make that squirrel stand out a little more.